Because the educational sector here in Heaven is just another part of our Civic District, I think we will try keep the aesthetics of it pretty similar to how the Civic District looks. So I am thinking about a lot of the decorations that we use over here, such as the oak slabs alongside spruce slabs for the paving, the usual lighting choices as decorations that we have, as well as scatterings of cherry blossom trees. But at the same token, I would still like this sector here to have its own form of personality, so maybe we can change some things up with it. I do have a few different ideas in mind whenever it does come to the decoration of this area, and I have requested quite a lot of different items here from our colony to be brought to me so that I can test them out. And to be fair, they have already done a good job with bringing me some of these items that I have requested here. So one of the requested items that I have asked for is purple concrete, and I'm not sure if our concrete mixer has made me up any yet. They haven't yet, but that's alright, I can just simply make up some of my own. So I'm thinking that instead of having the red concrete here, I will see how the purple one then works out for us, just for a bit of a different change. It's definitely a lot darker than the red one, but at least it is a bit different here. I wonder if maybe magenta would be better. Okay then, well, maybe magenta does work a bit better. It's at least a lot lighter than the purple one, probably about the same as the red one. And the only reason that I'm really looking into some different colours here at the moment is because our educational sector is pretty much primarily just here to host where our school is going to be. And of course, with a school, we will then have a lot of kids running about, and I thought maybe just to make it a bit more colourful. Honestly, I don't have any kids, nor do I really like them or know what they want, but I am thinking that maybe making this area a bit more colourful might be a good first step. Now, although this entire area will be dedicated to our educational builds, I will still have some form of dividing wall between the library section and the school section, which I then need to find a suitable dividing line, which I am thinking somewhere over this hill here, to then maybe put down a gate or something, just to separate the two areas. I don't really have too much room separating the library from the wall that I have up here, so maybe on the other side I will just put down another wall, say just an area here, travel it all the way down this line, and just then put in another one of these gates, which again we can recolour the red concrete to purple or magenta, whatever we are changing it to. Yeah, you know what, that probably works for me. So let's go ahead with that decoration then, and then I will set up the concrete wall that will divide both parts of this. Yeah, I could live with that actually. It doesn't look too bad. And just a kind of mirror image of the other side with a different colour. And for the next step we will need some dark oak planks, and I have seen that they have brought me in my purple clay shingles and shingle slabs, so let's start getting them placed just along the way. The purple shingle slabs here were because I was going to use purple concrete. How do they look against the magenta now actually? I'm not sure. Okay then, well, I have made myself a few different coloured shingle slabs here, and let's see how they then compare. I kind of still don't really like any of them actually. Maybe it's the magenta concrete that I now don't like. Right, okay then, so just before I do go absolutely stir crazy with trying to pick suitable colours that I really do not care about, let's maybe have a look at the school that we are going to be placing in. and maybe depending on the colours of it, that could guide us as to what we should maybe put in. Green. Of course it is. Well, regardless about its colour, I think I am happy with its placement here. It will of course require a lot of digging out, but I want it tucked right up beside the university, so let's go ahead with it. And this will still give us a lot of space between the school and the wall here, so we can maybe place in a few more builds within this area as well, should we wish, which to be fair will probably just be a lot more housing, because I think we are maybe at the end of all of the educational builds that we can place in. I have seen that we have a playground decoration that we could maybe place in as well here. The only issue is it's quite a big decoration. There is a smaller playset decoration which may fit in a bit nicer here actually. Maybe that's the better one to go with. So we could maybe have the playset then just right beside the school in this area here. A bit further down of course, we will need to clear out a lot more area. And then we could put in a small garden as well actually. Ooh, maybe we could have this garden first of all, that you would then walk through and you have the playset just at the back. Good work. Well, we have at least down 2 new builds that I need our builders to come out and construct for us, and I will still have a little think about our decoration as well as colour scheme for our walls. But let's maybe move on to something a bit more exciting-ish, and that is our university and its upgrades. So as a part of our upgrade to the educational sector, we will also be upgrading our university to tier 5, which all of the items here for it are really rather standard now. Now, as for the researches within it, we still have quite a few left to get here. I'm thinking along the stamina path, I will unlock resistance just to give our citizens some more healing saturation. This research line requires an upgraded restaurant, which we have, alongside some golden apples, which I hope we can make. And I have requested that our colony makes us some golden apples here actually, which we are in the process of doing. That is just quite a lot of gold that goes towards it, so we will need to hold off on getting those researches at the moment until they give me some golden apples. Along the Keen Research branch, which unlocked our library, we have a few different researches that we can go for. We will definitely go for Village to increase our maximum citizens within the colony. All we require is 256 steak, which I should have within here. Let's double check. We do indeed, so let's go ahead with that research to increase our population. And we have some research here which will allow our citizens to get some more experience from whatever they do. It's pretty cheap to get the diligent one, so let's go ahead with that. I would like to go for the Agile research to increase our citizens' overall walking speed, but for this we will require some rabbit feet, which I don't yet have a rabbit hutch up to actually do that for us, so I will hold off on this research for the moment, at least until we do get that rabbit hutch up and working for us, and the worker inside it slaughtering rabbits for us. And I did think I heard a lot of combat going on in the background there. Hadn't realised it had turned to night. At least our defence systems are taking care of all of those nasty buggers for us. The research here just simply allows our citizens to climb up vines, which I don't think will be very handy, at least not for this playthrough. I have another random playthrough that I think this may be more beneficial in. Just because we can, we will go for Lifesaver 2 to give our citizens some more health. And if the restaurant brings me in some more cakes, I will go for spectacle to give our citizens some more happiness. And if they also bring me some golden carrots, I can go for night owl, which will allow our citizens to work an extra hour throughout the day. And this one could be handy, or it could be deadly, depending on how many mobs then spawn in as it gets closer to night. I have all of the requirements in order to get the stuffer research to give our citizens some more saturation from all of the food that they eat. And that's all of the researches that we can conduct at the moment here at least. But plenty more here just in our civic tech tree that we can go for. Although we will need a school in order to go for these type of researches, and an upgraded graveyard for these ones. Our combat tech tree is looking pretty decent now. We just need the university upgraded to tier 5 to go for the last remaining researches here. And as for technology, we are also making some pretty good progress with it as well here. We will need our mine up to tier 5 in order to go for compost to allow our farmers to harvest more crops. Why we need an upgraded mine for that, I'm not really sure, but we'll get that eventually. Ocean's Heart is a new research to me, and this is going to allow our fishers to find treasure outside of the ocean. We have at least a tier 4 fisher's hut. All we need is a heart of the sea in order to get this research, and that's some exploring that I cannot be bothered doing at the moment, so we will leave it. We could go for the capacity research to give all of our builds some more storage capacity, but we will need to wait on the researches becoming available before we can go for it. The same story for deep pockets, which could be very interesting as it will give our citizens some more inventory slots. I am thinking for the builders and couriers in particular that if we could extend out their inventories, that could help us out a lot here. And the final researches that we have are for enhanced gates and enhanced gates 2. Which are and aren't very important to us, but this will allow us to then start creating some wooden gates or metal iron gates. The only real issue with them is the fact that we require some ancient tomes, and they are rare enough to get, never mind requiring 4 in order to get both of those researches. And that is definitely enough researches for the moment then. Let's go check on our builders and see what they are doing at the moment before we get them out here and upgrading the university to tier 5. Then we can go for some of those new researches. I just checked all of our builders' resource scrolls to see what they're up to, and basically everyone is just upgrading some guard towers for us at the moment. I would like Ava to finish off her guard tower here so that she can move on to the university. And to be fair, she really doesn't have that many items left before she is going to be complete with this. I think I will get Elia just after she completes her guards tower to then head over and create the school for us. I have no idea what is going on with all of the mobs here today. They are almost acting as if this is hell. Alright then, well, I am going to fast forward a little bit here just to ensure that we get something at least completed here today. So I'll see you in a bit whenever we've made a bit more progress. And a short while later, and we have made some more progress. So Wendy, as you can see, is out here hard at work creating our new gate for us at the moment, and she is building this at the speed of light, so it really isn't going to be too long before it's complete. Just beside it, we have up the walls again, which I have just simply reverted back to red concrete for the moment. But instead of the dark oak wood, I have gone for vertical birch paper timber frames and a nice blue slate just on the top of it. Still not entirely happy with it, but I think it will just need to do for the moment. And that's Andy, just completed the gate there. Perfect. Now let's get you back out here and you can upgrade this to tier 2 for us. We did have quite a lot of our researches just complete within the university, including the population cap increase. So we have had in quite a lot of new idiots within the colony, a lot of kids, which is good because we will have this school up and running soon. Speaking of which, actually, I believe that Alia is now possibly working on this for us. She is indeed, and she is already 64% supplied with it. And in fact, she's out here already taking apart some of these stones that I've left, so I will quickly assist with that, then you can begin the actual construction of it. Now, as for the actual university itself, Ava has finished off the guards tower and is working on it. She is nearly 100% supplied for it, but has really just begun working on it. So I'm very happy just letting her get on with that, as well as our other builders getting on with their jobs. As for us, however, I have come into a bit of a snag. Well, less of a snag actually, and more of another possible creative idea. I could take a lot of the dirt blocks that we have here and just simply fill over this water so that it isn't a problem. However, I think instead we will maybe try place over a bridge just to give this place a bit more character. And what I'm thinking about doing is expanding out the pond here, making it a bit bigger so that this bridge has more of a purpose, and then having it as the only way that you can get to this part of the educational sector. You would need to cross over a bridge to get to it, and obviously cross the bridge to then get down onto this part of it here. And then in this little area here, we will maybe just put down a lot of different houses and maybe some other decoration, I think. So I've lined up the bridge here so that it's right in the middle, right from the gate here. So the middle way will take you all the way down towards it. And if I then just bring this back to... I think that's an okay place for it. So let's go with this segment of the bridge at least. And we will get another segment just across the way there. And that will then take you onto this area here. I think I will just simply cap off the road here just outside of the courier's hut with another wall. And we can then have that meet up with the wall just at the back here. And that will then ensure that our citizens should only then use the bridge to cross over the little pond, not try come over this part. Let's start expanding out this little pond section then. Oh guys. And that'll do for the moment, at least until they come out and create these bridge parts. Right, let's get some water in and start filling this up a bit. Looking good so far then, and we can further decorate this with some leaf pads and other type of plants whenever the builders come out and construct the bridges for us. I planted some bamboo in just for a bit more decoration, and thinking about placing down this well here just in the centre. In fact, I think that's not a bad place for it, so let's go with that as well. That's just even more water death traps for all of our new children's citizens, so that'll be nice. I can see that Andy is receiving in everything that she has requested in order to make the fancy gate. Elia nearly has everything she requires for the school build, just awaiting in some white carpet. And Ava now has everything she requires for the university and is about 40% complete with it. Making progress here so far. This area is already starting to flesh out pretty nicely. My next job then is to start taking away some of the green dark oak slates that we have and replacing them in with these new blue ones. And this job is going to be a lot easier said than done, I think. Yes, I think the blue slates definitely will work here. That doesn't look too bad at all, actually. Another little trick that I have seen involves taking out some lanterns and item frames. And if I then come to a wall segment, place on another one of those blue shingles, followed by a lantern, then I can place a item frame inside it, and I think that looks not too bad as a form of lighting as well. Which is exactly what I've done just along the edge of the wall across the way there. And it's probably what I will do just on the wall segments just over here. Although I will now need to strip away all of the green slates that I've already had to put down and replace them with some blue ones, as well as replacing the dark oak planks with the vertical paper ones. Sadly, I just missed it, but that is Ava just finished upgrading her university here to tier 5. And inside of it really doesn't look too bad now actually, but mainly we now have access to a lot more researches, which is absolutely fantastic. And I have seen that Ava has now picked up the work order for her bridge, which I'm more than happy to let her get on with. As for Elia, she has made some fantastic progress of her own with the school here, and we are now 90% complete, and any second now, I reckon this will flag off as done. Yep, there it's complete, just there. Good work then, Elia, and I have seen that she has picked up the well decoration next, which is even better. But I am way over time for today's episode. I really get the feeling that this is going to be a rather long one, which is also what she said. So we will pick up the transformation of our educational sector next time and hopefully get a lot more decorations up, as well as a few more builds upgraded as well. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.